afternoon. I'm Ms. Therault, and I teach forensics here at the Glenholm School. We've covered fingerprinting and handwriting analysis and many other subject areas in forensics. And we are lucky enough to have a guest speaker here today to bring it to a different level for us and how it applies in the real world.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. I am a special agent with the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. Now, a lot of you might not have heard of that, and that's a pretty good thing. I investigate federal crimes. There's a lot of them out there. And obviously, we use a lot of the forensic stuff you students have been learning about in your classes. DNA and fingerprints. Maybe we can talk a little bit about how the things you've learned a little bit about work in the real world.
Would you like to raise your hand and just tell some of the stuff that we've covered in class?
We have been learning about Locard's principle. As a crime is committed, the culprits will leave trace evidence behind.
Well, I think that's great. I think I'm going to touch on that stuff. These are the ones I brought mostly about, and I think you guys have talked about NIBIN, right? We'll touch a little bit about how I've used DNA in some cases, and fingerprints a little bit. And then I think one you guys haven't talked about, but this is one of my specialties right now. In addition to being an agent who investigates crimes and does all the thing and work with informants and write search warrants and do surveillance, I do our office's computer and cell phone forensics. So I understand you guys have talked a little bit about DNA. Hard to see, but this is like a report we get back from the state lab. Profile obtained, yes. Unfortunately for me, in this case, these are my two suspects. I've blocked them out, obviously. Eliminated and eliminated. There were two contributors, and the two people I suspected of doing it were eliminated. There's DNA on there, but it wasn't their DNA. It's a very exacting thing. You don't fudge DNA. It's either a hit or not, although that's not true because it's always a probability. Did you guys talk about that? But it can never say it was you. What it could say is the chances of it not being you are like 1 in a billion. That means it's you, but it's always a probability. Fingerprints, a lot like DNA. But here's a couple things. Did you guys talk about how fingerprints are mostly moisture?
Yeah.
Right? Smooth surfaces are the best. Guys, thanks for your attention.
And thanks for watching. I hope that you enjoyed it as much as we did and learned as much as we did. Thank you.